Fascinating. Ben, the name of the band, We Are the Fallen, does that have anything to do with leaving Evanescence?
In some ways, yes. For all of us, we've all been a part of things in our lives that have not worked out as we had planned, and not just professionally or artistically, but personally. This record's kind of a roadmap of heartache for us, and so We Are the Fallen just sort of fit this. We wanted it to be sort of an inclusive thing for the people who like this record, the people who relate to it, that we're all the fallen, we're all, we have each other, but we all have lost something very precious to us, and this is sort of our way of coming to grips with that and finding comfort in each other.
Now, in this band, how does your role differ? You said this band is more democratic, I think you said earlier. Mm-hmm. How does it differ being in this band than the last one for you?
Many reasons, and I say all this just being very factual and not trying to say anything negative about my experience with Evanescence, because we had a good time and we had a lot of success, and I would never take that for granted. But this band has brought joy to all of our lives in a way that all of our previous experiences never did. The difference is it is truly democratic. It isn't just one or two people making all the decisions and then everyone else suffering the consequences. It's 5 people who sit down, and when a decision comes up, we discuss it. We take a vote.
We vote on everything.
Sometimes I don't win. And the difference between this band and my last band is now I'm okay with that. Because, win or lose.
When he doesn't win, he doesn't care, but when I don't win, I'm like, oh, but can we just revisit this? I just want to, talk about this for a minute.
So it's different in that we all ride on the same bus, and we genuinely care for one another and look out for one another. And when one of us is upset about something, it's usually not at one of the other. It's something we all sit down and go, hey, man, is there somebody we need to take out for you kind of thing. It's more of a family and a brotherhood and sisterhood. And predominantly it's just a band. And I know it's kind of hard to understand how that makes it different than my last one, but this is a real band. And it's all for one for all.
Now, listening to the album, and I have this habit of trying to compare and trying to figure out influences when I hear a record. I mean, maybe unfair, but that's just me. First record that came to mind when I listened to this were Cranberries. Is that an influence of yours?
Well, I grew up with them, yeah.
Silly Irishmen.
Silly Irish people. Yeah, I'm from Dublin. I love the Cranberries. Probably some of the first rock I ever heard. Ireland's a very small place, and we're very proud of bands that make it really big. U2, Cranberries. I grew up pretty much on stuff like that, and Iron Maiden, and it wasn't until I came to America that Metallica became a big thing. My husband listens to a lot of that, but definitely at home, Cranberries are a big deal.
Ben, who are some of your influences?
For me, I listen to such a wide range of music, and as a profession I have to create such a wide range of music that I know it sounds like a cop-out cheesy answer to say, I'm inspired by everything, but no, honestly, I listen to a lot of classical, a lot of Holst and things like that, and I take it all. I love Metallica. That's so apparent in my writing. I love pop music. I listen
to a lot of stuff I would never think you did.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to a lot of pop, classic pop, Motown, things like that.
I'm kind of a soundtrack person. I listen to soundtracks. I buy soundtracks. I'm kind of obsessed with fairy tale movies and how they create the sound behind the acting.
Yeah, I mean, the music is heavily, is orchestrated, and it's instead of strings and sections, it's guitar, and it's lots of dramatic guitar. So I'm not too surprised at that. What is it that you listen to that some of your fans would be surprised to know that you listen to?
What were you surprised that I listened to? I think a lot of people would be surprised I listen to as much old Motown as I do.
Yeah, you listen to everything.
I think
I was just surprised that he listens to everything. I thought you'd just be like this metalhead, but no, he's very wide open.
Well, plus my girlfriend, Hannah Pestel, is a singer-songwriter, touring artist who is in that world of acoustic and alternative singer-songwriters. So she has some new artist every week she's introducing me to, whether it's Isley or Lydia or, things like that. I'm sure most of our fans haven't even heard of. Sia.
I'm all excited that you listen to Sia. I came to him, I was like, this is a song, it's so amazing. It's called You've Been Loved. He's like, Sia. He's like...
I love Sting, I love great, just great musicians.
Carly, who would people be surprised that you listen to?
Ooh.
Bananarama. No.
We're great, yeah. I don't know. I listen to a wide variety as well. I listen to a lot of, like opera. I was in Les Mis when I was a kid. I listened to a lot of that stuff. Probably Leonard Skinner. I don't know.
That one surprised me.
I have a soft spot for Skinner.
You'd think that would come from, Southerners who were,
My husband's
native.
from South Carolina, so I actually have a big... his dad, when you wake up in the morning... we were in Orlando like a couple of weeks ago, and I knew, I'm back in Gary's house. Pink Floyd is blasting or Leonard Skinner out of the record player. It's his alarm clock when you wake up. The whole house is, hey, you. You're like, oh, my God. It's crazy. But, yeah, no, definitely I got heavily influenced when I got here and met my husband by a lot of Southern rock.
It's not Southern rock, but I love Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Just as you mentioned that.
Roger Waters was here a couple of weeks ago.
Was he?
Yeah.
Cool.
God, it was who were you in Les Mis?
Cosette.
Yeah, I was. I kind of figured that, but I was just like, wow.
It was pretty cool.
Can you play Annie as well?
Yes, I played.
Big fro.
No.
You didn't have a big fro?
I wore a wig. I wasn't going to let them cut my hair. No way.
Where was this? Is this European tours?
In Europe. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, when I was a very little girl, I did a lot of theater. I love down the pit, big orchestras and stuff. It's amazing.
So, speaking of the backgrounds that you have, the way the music is put together, tell me about how dramatic the shows are going to be.
When we get to that point, they're going to be dramatic.
Yeah, we have every step along the way of tiers of what kind of venues a band can play. We sort of have a basic plan in mind and our ideal show for each tier. Right now, because we wanted to experience every step along the way, and by all accounts, we are a baby band. This is our first CD, and it's been out for about 12 hours. So we are a baby band by all accounts. So we're playing down and dirty rock clubs in very, very small theaters. And so this is not about production as much as about leaving as much blood and sweat on the floor as we can. I mean, it's all about intensity and energy and putting on, in all honesty, a great rock and roll show. Down the road, of course, we want to add more. I mean, we'd love to, bring to the stage, elements that people haven't brought in that particular order before. You know what I mean?
Like Pink Floyd used to do, or like Marilyn Manson does, or...
It's more of an experience. You're entering a world rather than... You have to come back because, yes, you love the music and you want to hear the songs, but you couldn't see it all at once, Yeah,
like Tim Burton meets Braveheart. I keep saying that, but it's kind of like if the soundtrack of Tim Burton met Braveheart, what would be on the stage? Something just strange and unusual, but beautiful and visual at the same time.
But every step along the way, like I said, it'll be something totally different.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as what would be the plan for a set list? Would you be playing the entire album? What else would you be playing?
Well, we're about to embark on a 2-week headline run before we go to do the European festivals, and we'll be playing the enther album, plus
B-sides
and some covers and just a lot of fun stuff. And every cover we're doing, we're making it our own, and in a probably a bigger way than people are expecting.
So you share one or two of those?
At the moment, we're doing Iron Maiden, Flight of Icarus.
Now, that one we're doing just true to the original, but we also are doing a very unique version of Madonna's Like a Prayer. And we got one more, which we won't share with you because we want it to be a surprise.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you very much. This was a pleasure. We Are the Fallen, debut album out today. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, great.
Cool.
I just want to see if we can get some photos.
Yeah,
Cool.
absolutely.
Okay, so I don't know if he's back here, but let me go grab him.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a good interviewer.
He was really good,
The lady earlier was crazy.
I love it when people are conversational.
Educated.
Or just have good questions. Even